What's up, kings and queens? Welcome back to the Coalition of Color. If you're new to our channel, we're all about developing, advancing, and progressing our community in America. Listen, this past Tuesday, September 22nd, was voter registration day. So we took this opportunity to go out into the community to see what they had to say about their thoughts on this upcoming election and whether they think our vote is even worth it or not.
Huh? Uh-huh. Yeah. Melanin.
Oh no, backward.
The coalition of color, my brother, rock your crown. I'm here to show you the power inside the color brown. Now's the time to open up your mind to what they tried to hide from the real royalty. Open up your chakra from your brain to your feet and really realize what's inside and believe. Got God on my side and I ride with a queen. As we travel on this journey, I'ma show you what I mean when you open up your eyes. When you know what your worth is, never no surprise. Spirit of the sun, navigating stars. Times are getting better when you feel them getting hard like.
So I know there's a lot of talk about voter registration day just passed. What exactly is voter registration day?
It was a day that was created to bring awareness to voting registration. Millions of Americans found themselves turned away at the polls because they thought they were registered, but they had missed the deadline or didn't know that they needed to register or whatever the case may be. So now it brings it to the forefront. Don't get that confused with a deadline. There's still time to vote. This just tells you that you need to if you weren't. So in our area, the DMV, DC and Maryland, the deadline is October the 13th.
Absolutely, and if you didn't know, if you want to get registered, it's as simple as going to www.vote.org. Okay, we'll also link it in the description box, make it easy for you to go and get registered. And on that link, you can also check your registration.
That's almost as important as getting registered because there's a number of things that can cancel or revoke your registration that we're finding out. Can you give some of those examples?
Yeah, I was just actually talking to my mom about it earlier today. So if you move around a lot, if you've changed your name, if you haven't voted in the last 4 years, you can likely find your voter registration status to be, null and void basically, or expired. And when you show up to the polls, like you just said, you'll be looking dumbfounded, like, okay, well, sign me up, and it just doesn't work that way. Okay, so make sure you check your status because you could, in fact, have, been put out of the system because of any of those number of things.
So you might be asking, why are we pushing so hard for this voting thing? Our community just does not believe that our vote matters, or that whoever gets into office and claims that they're going to do something for us, that they'll actually do it for us. So there's a lot of negative thoughts and stigma and energy that goes into this whole voting thing. But understand, that's part of what we've been talking about, is this whole suppression and oppression of our people in America.
Absolutely.
Okay, so he who controls the vote controls the office. He who controls the office controls the power here. So that ultimately boils down to everything.
Absolutely.
A big thing, or a fun fact, is that 60%, or roughly 60%, a little over 60% of African Americans are actually registered to vote. And once again, we're not telling you who to vote for.
No.
We just want you to know that your vote matters.
Absolutely.
What's happening right now, what happened in 2016, can only happen if we don't vote.
Exactly. Basically, we're trying to make it so that it's undeniable who wins, right? When the margins become so close and you think 3 million votes or something like that, that is not a lot of people when we're talking about the entire population of the United States that can actually vote. Okay, so yes, in the last election, we understand that the popular vote lost the election, but that is not how elections go. We know this already. So we need to do what we can by participating in midterms and participating in these presidential elections. And I'm not sure if you're aware, but those people that you vote for in midterms, we're voting for those people in this election as well. So don't just pay attention to, oh, I'm Democrat, or oh, I'm Republican, so I'm just gonna vote for everybody on this side. You need to vote and First of all, you need to do your research, and then you need to vote for the party that's going to uplift your community, and not just your community. Think about your future, right? Think about your family's future.
One of the main reasons that we're finding that people are not registering to vote, outside of not thinking that their vote matters, is the fact that they have a record.
Ooh, good one. The felons.
The felons.
Or the ex-cons.
Yes. So, we just found out that both Mike Tyson and Snoop Dogg were in that boat, and they are both registering, or they are both registered to vote and voting for the first time in this election.
Drop it on the clues bombs for
Right. All right, Charlotte. So yeah, so if they can do it, you know, if they're realizing how much their vote, I mean, they're a lot older than we are, and
but think about who we're talking about
yes,
here.
Yes. I mean, if they realize that this is a statement that we're trying to make here, we're not saying Democrat or Republican. What we're saying is Trump is not good for our community.
Correct. I really don't care which party you affiliate yourself with. Honestly, I feel like I'm in the middle. This year, we do have weird options. I will say that. However, I think one has proven over the last 4 years. Let's talk about what just happened, right? What's happening right now, all right? We're talking about the suppression of voting.
So this might be hard to believe, as closely as we work together and everything, but we haven't talked about this. Are you registered to vote?
I am actually.
Have you confirmed your registration?
I checked my registration this morning with my mom. So we both did this morning, and we are, in fact, registered to vote.
All right.
How about
I don't
you?
know if you want to tell the world based off of what you just said, but are you going to vote for Trump?
Absolutely not.
Awesome.
No, I'm registered. I'm voting. Not voting for Trump. What about yourself? Are you registered?
I am registered.
You've confirmed it?
I have confirmed it.
All right now. And you are voting
For Biden, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. So it's not like we're saying that we're super excited about Biden and Kamala, right? We're not. This is an unenthusiastic vote. However, this is going to propel us into the next 4 years, right? What's going to happen in the next 4 years?
And we hate to keep preaching about this voting for the midterm election thing, but you were just talking about us having to vote for the lesser of two evils. One thing that we have to understand is we could vote for a righteous person if we vote for them in the midterms, because then they're potentially a candidate for presidency later. You see what I'm saying? But we don't vote for midterms. We get what we get, and then we have to vote for the lesser of two evils and say we don't like them, but we never put the person in office who we might have liked.
Right. I don't know if you guys, think about it and honestly ask yourself this question, right? Because Kamala's been in Congress or in the Senate. I mean, she's been working in politics for years, right? Somebody voted on her, right? We've heard her name before. Can you honestly say that you knew anything about her before she started running for a Democratic nomination?
About these interviews, this week we went into the community, but what we did differently was we didn't just go to Black Lives Matter Plaza like we usually do. We went to a neighborhood very close to where Dominique lives, and mind you, this is a neighborhood that we both grew up around. We frequent this area, no issues.
I get my nails done there.
Yeah, right, but the thought process was just a little bit different from there and DC, right? So we're talking about progressing and advancing our community, right? And while it may not be cool to do an interview on YouTube or to talk politics or to talk African culture or something like that, the fact that certain black people in America are a little bit more open-minded, or they just have a more open mind, and we'll discuss it, and it's healthy debate, and that's what we encourage, because that's the only way we're going to get to what the agenda is. Everybody talks agenda, but your agenda is going to be different than my agenda, than your agenda, so we have to come up with something that's going to help everybody. You see what I'm saying? But we can't do that if we're shutting down people's thought processes or creative ideas before we even hear it, which is what happened down the street. Now, down the street, we did visit 2 different locations. The first group was a little bit skeptical. believe me, we grew up around the neighborhood. We know why they were skeptical,
Right.
especially with everything that's going on
Right,
and the
right.
distrust for the police.
Absolutely.
You know, I totally get that. However, once they heard us out and actually found out it was for the advancement, they went
were
ahead
open.
and they were open,
Yeah.
which was cool.
And it's
Welcome back. We're here with Quay, and we're going to ask him some questions now. How do you feel about this upcoming election?
I feel that our vote probably wouldn't matter, regardless of who the popular vote goes to. I think that the electoral college is some bullshit. So I just think voting in our community, like as far like I said, with council members in our community, we get better results voting like that opposed to the presidential vote. But it don't even really, it seems like it don't matter because with the last election, Hillary Clinton won and she didn't win.
And this election, how do you feel about voting? Are you excited about it? Is it something that you're paying attention to?
No, I'm not excited.
Okay, all right.
I ain't been paying attention either. I ain't been doing nothing about no voting.
The other group, considerably younger, well, we don't care. Preach. Do what you do. You know
Right,
what I'm saying?
right.
But so we got cards that we hand out, and we try to show people, prior to interviews, our channel. Now we got scrollability now, stuff like that. And they just closed off completely before they even heard us out. You know, one person took a card and threw it on the ground right in front of us. They were screaming all of these things that we don't put on episodes. We might talk about it in a rant.
Right. I just feel like as Black people, we need to be a little bit more receptive and open to our brothers and sisters, especially our brothers and sisters that are in the community, that are trying to do things to progress the community. I don't want to preach on this channel, and
we don't, but I do want to plug a quick call to action real quick, because we don't want to stay in just comfortable areas. Believe me when we tell you, we want to unite everybody's thoughts and well, not unite, but we want to hear everybody's thoughts, bring it to the table and discuss it. So for this week's call to action, please, in the comment section below, if you guys have an idea on how we can, I guess, deliver our message when going out into these more standoffish communities, because we understand that, but they don't understand where we're coming from. So maybe there's something that we're not saying, or something that we are saying, or just any advice that you might have, how you might approach the situation if you were the interviewer in the case. Please help us out.
We're talking about you going to your hood, and you see the guys on the block or the girls on the block, and you want to talk to those guys on the block, because that's the community that is probably registered and not voting. That's the community
haven't checked their status,
that is registered, haven't checked their
status,
or the community that just refuses to pay attention. You'll hear in some of the one of the guys said that he wasn't really sure who was running in this election. He knew it, but he wasn't sure of it.
That's cool. So you don't plan on voting this election?
No, because I don't even know no candidates.
Okay, well, yes you do.
I mean, I know one person, Joe Biden, that's about it.
Okay, well, those are the only candidates running, right? So you got Joe Biden, and then you got Trump.
And Trump.
Right.
I ain't voting for him.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you're, I'm not sure if you know this, but a no vote is a vote for Trump if you don't vote.
And to me, things like that, especially when you are always saying, and I'm not talking about this young man at all, I'm not saying that he says this, but I know a lot of people that, the white man don't care about us, ain't nothing going to change, and I ain't seen a change since I've been alive, and but I don't know if you're aware, but only 13% of Black people vote. 13. That blew my mind when I found that out. 13, guys. And it's never gone higher than that. I think it was at around 11, and when Obama ran for office, it jumped up to 13. You know who got Obama into office, guys? All of those Republicans, Black Republicans, moved their vote and united their vote. That's how we got Obama into office. that can change things.
We had 2 different experiences
Yes.
in 3 different locations.
Yes.
All of which, though, helped us out. You know, what
Yes.
doesn't kill you
Makes you stronger.
Here's my Joe Biden moment.
What doesn't kill you? You know what the thing is.
We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men and women created by go. You know the thing.
So anyway, but I did think that it was cool in Lafayette Park. The 3 young men.
Kings and Queens to the Coalition of Color. We're here with a couple of kings that we found in Lafayette Square. First, we're going to talk to Joe and see how he feels about the upcoming election. So, Joe, what do you think?
So pretty much about this upcoming election, I'm pretty anxious for it. Pretty much waiting to make a difference because this 2020 been crazy due to the fact that our leadership has been more of a dictatorship than anything.
Do you think this election is more important than any other election?
Oh, for sure, for sure. Things will definitely change either way. With the way you want it to go, the way somebody else wants it to go. If you don't put your bid in, somebody else will, for sure.
I feel like it's important to vote. I feel like people need to do their research first, also to see, you know, what they agree with, and then vote for whomever, you know, best fits their exactly what they got going on. But me personally, I'm not a Trump supporter, so I will be voting for the Democrat. But I mean, everybody should get out and vote and you know, let their voice be heard, and you know, whoever gets the most votes will win.
I like that, Bobby. You brought up a really interesting point. A lot of times black people tend to just vote Democrat or get stuck in these party affiliations, and you're basically saying that it shouldn't be about the party, it should be about what their ideas are, what their policies are. Is that right?
Right, exactly. Yeah, I feel like a lot of people just go off, you know, with a bandwagon basically, instead of, you know, doing their research. So I feel like it'll be important for everybody to, you know, get their thoughts together and figure out, you know, what we need as a community and as a, you know, country to better ourselves.
Awesome.
I guess coming off of the heels of a bad situation, and this is something else that we can't do, but it was like I brought that energy with me, and it was just like, you know, I got to do all of this extra talking to try to tell them what we're about before they're even open to the idea of doing the interview.
You almost got to disarm them.
And I was disarming myself the whole time because they were cool as hell. No way.
Right. Okay, Joe, so if there was one thing you could say to first-time black voters to encourage them to vote, what would it be?
Y'all do a lot of stuff for no reason. Y'all might as well do this. You get me? It only take like 5 minutes. Just go ahead, make a difference.
It's all about what you want. If you want to change, you want something different, then you make your statement, make your voice, you know what I'm saying? Let your voice be heard. There ain't no point in you just saying it on the internet just to say it. Like, really go take the action to do that.
I mean, you can make a difference. I mean, a lot of people sit around and, you know, just, you know, watch what's going on and, you know, let the people who fighting for stuff fight for it and, you know, sit around and ask for handouts, when I feel like a lot of us black people, we're more talented than the people we let, you know, have the voice or, you know, be the people in control. So I feel like people just need to, you know, strive for, have more goals in life and, you know, do what's best for their family and the community they live in.
Justin, if you could say one thing that would encourage first-time black voters to vote in this election, what would it be?
I would implore you to just look at your own surroundings right now and know that everything that's happening right now happened in this administration. Nothing that's happening in this administration is off the heels of Obama. I know that often happens with the changes of power. Everything that's happening right now is brand new. All of this is a result of Trump. And so the only thing I would say is ask yourself, do you think Biden can do better than this right here, right now? And for me, you know, like Dominique just said, I have children to look out for, black boys, you know, that's growing up with this type of environment that we're in. You know, right now, I don't know if they'll ever know being able to go outside without a mask. It's just too much that's changed in this past 3.5, close to 4 years. But if you're like me and you think that Biden might be able to do better, go vote. Please, you have to. What about you?
You know, my emotions about this upcoming election is a little weird because I get the struggle that people are having with, hey, I don't see a change, I don't see a change, I don't see a change. And my vote is just one little drop in the bowl, right? If you're that person and you've never voted before, this election is also a midterm election.
Yes.
And let me tell you that your vote in that midterm election with your city officials and your county officials and all of those people who decide where the money goes for your state, for education, for policing, all of those different things, vote. Do your research and vote in this upcoming election. Get registered, vote, do research.
Side note, almost married to the fact that those people in the midterm elections change your vote or change your lifestyle or impact your lifestyle a little bit more than the federal and presidential elections. This year is a census year. That's married to these elections. Like, those two go hand in hand. And when you're talking about allocating money for schools and for housing and things like that, they get this information off of the census.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? The
Yes.
census will tell them, and this doesn't come again until 2030.
Yes.
So all of the money is going to be allocated for the next 10 years.
So make sure you fill out your census form. If you are old enough, it counts everybody. This is so that you know how many people are in your area. If you're not counted, then it looks like there are less people in your area, which means you get less money. These things are important.
Very important.
And we're not taught these things. They're not on commercials. If you watch Roland Martin, you see it all the time because he is on it.
Shout out to Roland.
Shout out to Roland. He's doing great things in the community for the people.
Well, that about wraps it up for voting registration. I'm registered, you're registered, I'm voting, you're voting, y'all are registered, y'all are voting. We should be good to go from here on out, right? So, as always, we thank you for your continued support. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share. And remember to donate for our microphones and camera, if you're willing, at Cash App, $, the Coalition of Color. Until next week, rock your crown.
Getting hard life.
Who taught you to hate the texture of your hair? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin? Who taught you to hate the shape of your nose and the shape of your lips? Who taught you to hate yourself from the top of your head to the soles of your feet? Who taught you to hate your own kind? Who taught you to hate the race that you belong to?
And it's not like we're saying we're super enthusiastic about Biden or Kamala. Let me say it again. All right, and it's not like we're saying we're super excited about Biden or Kamala. Kamala?
Kamala.
All right.
Kamala.
Right, Kamala.
Kamala.
All right.
All right, kings and queens, we're here. We found some of our black kings to talk to in the community. First, we're going to talk to Bobby and see what he feels about this upcoming election. So, Bobby, how do you feel about this upcoming election?
How do you feel about it?
Oh, I'm so sorry. Lord Jesus. Travis,
How do you
Joe,
feel
Bobby.
about it?
See, I got thrown off.
Say,
I got
we
Joe.
ain't
All right.
gonna
Over. You let me go through the whole thing. Oh my gosh. We gonna check it.
Hey, I'm gonna check it myself.
All right. Well, can I give you the link at least? So
Yeah, you can
know?
give me the link. Oh, is it on here?
It is going to be on there.
All right.
And we'll have it at the end of the description for this video, okay?
Okay. Thank you.
Lord Jesus. All right.
Appreciate it.